I thought it would be appropriate given the fact that your wonderful play is set during the Blitz and the idea that there are people obviously from that generation who are long gone. I suppose that one thing I should ask before we get into your own history, here's 6 characters, they take shelter during the Blitz. You know you're 16, right? How? Where? That's fantastic that you would find it in yourself to sort of start there with a story and to work your way through it.
Well, number one, historical fiction has always been one of my absolute favourite topics. I've had a mountain of books from King Henry VIII to World War I to World War II, and the whole lot is just one of my really favourite topics. I just think it's so interesting. So I suppose it's natural for me in that sense to go for something like historical fiction-ish. But at the same time, I understand that I'm such a sensitive topic that it is a very dangerous place to start. But a lot of it was just in terms of it makes it a lot easier when you're doing just the one set, like it's the one room the whole night,
right? The
whole night long. So there's no big set changes, and then what I'll have to do, then there'll be great lights and sound involved with like bombs dropping and sirens going off. So there's a really good lights element from that. And then the costumes, like if we pull them off right, obviously, are going to be will be very useful in helping create the immersive experience. And thus, before you even get to the dialogue or the acting, I've already built up strong aspects to the play.
Right.
Whereas if I was writing something, I don't know, teenagers in a school, no matter how good the acting was, or no matter how good the script was, you'd still just have a group of teenagers on stage in their jeans and t-shirts.
Right.
So I feel like the whole aspect of the bomb strapping and the costume and the whole lot really adds to making it more of an immersive experience, making it as believable as possible.
Well, I suppose Alan Bennett, he's always said that, you know, every film is a period film, even if it's right now, it's still a period film, and that really what matters is the human element and how they react to their circumstance.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, that no matter what time of history you take, the same desires and needs and fears are going to be there.
No, that's a big part of it. I think it's really meant to be about like sort of human nature,
right?
In the sense of that, at the start off, they're at each other's throats. They're annoyed. They all want to be different places. None of them want to be there with each other. But then by the end of the night, they just realise that they are all just going through it the same. They're all struggling, and it's just a really rough time.
So it's a bit like teenagers in school as well, in that way.
No, it is. Yeah,
nobody wants to be there.
It's sort of like Breakfast Club-esque in that sense.
There you go.
That like they're just stuck there like the whole time. And they just end up talking.
Now we should about your own history. You've been with the Kilmac Drama Group for 10 years, which is pretty spectacular. That you started at 6. So I don't know whether there was a family connection already. It was.
Well, Claire, who's like head of the group, her daughter Aisling was my best friend at primary school.
Right.
So we just kind of slid in there at the same time. My first role ever was a duo role. Like we were like a pair with Aisling herself. We both played 2 dwarfs. Two like dwarfs that go around together in Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs.
It was the Several Dwarfs, wasn't it? It was called Snow White and the Several Dwarfs. That particular production,
So
nice.
That's how I snuck my way.
Were you grumpy,
in
sleepy? What I don't know.
We did it. The play itself was like an adaptation. So what we were doing, our scene was to audition for it, or to be interviewed for a part of the dwarf. And my role was Arg. And I had one line, and that was to say "arg" every 2 seconds.
You were Groot before Groot came along. Yeah, that's a nice way to be.
Exactly.
Now that kind of initial fun element to it that would have been there, especially with your best friends involved, and you got Claire Stevens, her mom, and then the McGowans are in there. That was that something that you recognised early on? Oh, I'd like to actually do this more than just for fun. This actually is something I can.
Well, I suppose I just grew up with it. It was just normal, like 5 o'clock on a Friday evening, that's where I was.
Right.
And at the beginning it was just, something to do just alongside, like swimming lessons and gymnastics and the whole lot that you run around doing as your kid. But just because I had the chance to grow up and evolve with such a great support method, like such a great support, and it was a really good method. Just we had such not freedom, but just such a chance to grow and have our own ideas and have our own opinions. And then as we've gotten so far down the line that I have the platform to go about my own ideas.
And that like very, very productive. I know that there's been a lot of short films every year. There seems to be at least one short film comes out of the group.
Yeah.
I'm particularly interested in seeing the most boring village in Ireland. I think they. But that's obviously another kind of muscle, another kind of area that you can evolve. I don't know what that's because here you are. You've written and directed a play. You won the merit certificate last year at the Bray One Act Festival. Won Best Youth Actress. There must be a part of you thinks everything's possible. Like I could work in any kind of area.
Well, as much as that, like that is always going to be 100% the dream, and it's never something that I'm going to stop pursuing. At the same time, like I'm also like planning, like I want to study business in college. Okay. And I want to.
So you're cautious, you know that it's not.
I am cautious, but this is also in the same line that I'd actually really like to go into maybe like event planning, and it's actually a lot of the skills are transferable in the sense of that I have to pull together, and for this I have to send emails and I have to organise costumes and I have to get people to show up, and it's like a lot of those skills will be transferable to what I want to do going forward. You know what I mean?
Now we should say it's Thursday the 28th in the Whale.
Yeah.
The full title now, I always get it mixed up with Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. We've got a soldier, we've got lipstick, we've got a joker.
Soldier, smoker, lipstick, joker, and then
which sounds like a night out really if you're lucky.
And then there's two other characters, typist and musician.
Right.
And then the title is actually a play off Soldier, Smoker.
There you go, Tinker Tailor.
Tinker Tailor, Soldier, Spy. But the idea is, well, actually, at the beginning, I hadn't named the characters.
Right.
And I just kept finding reasons to go around naming the characters because I didn't want to do that. So in the end, I had realised that I had come up with the name based off the fact that I hadn't actually named the characters. Right. And then I was like, this just works perfectly. Now I never have to name them.
And did you find the whole experience, I don't know whether it was nerve-wracking, because it's in a way it's a test of, will this be good enough, will people like it, will the rest of the gang like it, and then will an audience like it? Oh, I don't know whether it all felt quite cathartic and
yeah, well, it's obviously like I knew the workload would be like, it wasn't too much at the beginning, it was the same as just like turning up to rehearsals, same as I've been doing for like since I was 6 or 7. But then coming up, like, I don't know, since Christmas there's been lots of emails to send and lots of like extra rehearsals. They're a nightmare to schedule because everyone has after school study or has exams or has
very selfish
something. How dare they?
Yeah.
But it's just like, and obviously there's like stresses and tensions, but I think we all just wanted to go spectacularly on the night, so we all have the common idea there, and just all the people in the group, all the actors and everyone involved are just playing an absolute blinder.
So I know the current, the youth group that you're in is 8 years, but the actual Kilmac Dramatic Society, it's certainly 1970s. You know when it started?
I actually don't know. It's always been like the lore that we've sort of evolved from there. They were the original, and then some stuff happened, and some stuff happened.
You're good at this plot stuff. Some stuff happened. That's
some
a good
stuff
way.
Happened.
Yeah.
That's basically the whole mentality of the whole play. Some stuff happens, and some people.
And now we're in
feelings.
this scene. Yes. So I mean, that idea that it's part of a long kind of tradition. I don't know if that enters your head too. You're thinking, well, this is a small enough village, and yet you're able to sustain and grow a drama group.
I suppose people will always be interested in drama. People will always enjoy being up on stage. So whether there's like 40 people in the group or whether there's 5, there'll always be people willing and able to give it 100% and put on like the best shows possible, and it's all about people really. And they just people giving it 100%, and that's what I have. That's what the group is just people giving it 100%.
So given that you've dedicated 10 years of your life to show and you are going to study business, there would seem to be, is there a possibility that you could combine the two, because there is this sort of
it's just so, as a kid you'd hear about like the 3 suitable professions are teacher, solicitor, or doctor, but there's so much more. There's like designing costumes, there's like producing, there's company director,
there's smoker, there's lipstick, there's joker.
So it's just like I'm yet to properly decide, you know.
Okay.
I'm trying to keep open that there are more jobs than just a teacher or a doctor, you know.
I suppose finally on the night, when it comes to Thursday the 28th, I don't know whether you would imagine yourself to be quite nervous, or whether, given that you've been 10 years doing it, you're kind of a veteran now at this. So.
Well, I'm obviously nervous. Like, you can't go into stuff without being nervous, and I've never performed in the Whale Theatre, or like I'm not performing, but I've never done anything in the Whale Theatre before, so I don't actually know how that's...
It is the greatest theatre in Wicklow, just so you're aware.
Obviously, yeah, that's why we're there. But I'll see what's to make of it on the night, you know. I actually don't know how I'm going to feel. I'm just going to take it as it comes.
Well, every great artist says if you're not at least somewhat nervous going on, no matter how long you've been doing it, it means you actually don't care anymore.
Yeah,
so that's important to have that
being
sort of...
nervous is just because you care. Yeah. Everybody wants it to go right, so everyone's going to be...
Boom! So we'll be watching out for you, biting your fingernails and pacing the room. We'll know it's you. People can watch out for you on the night. We hear screaming from the dressing room. We know that's you.
That'll be me.